Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, black people, white people, Asian people, Puerto Rican people, Hispanic people, whatever else people. Welcome to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This morning's show is called The Sunday Rise, and we will take you through the sports world one sport at a time, recapping our college preview from Thursday, recapping Thursday night's colossal failure by the Washington Commanders, recapping yesterday's college football, talking about and previewing today's football, and maybe just maybe we talk a little Bud and Canelo. I don't know how the fellas feel about that. Maybe we can catch that and wrap this shit up, B. With that all being said, he's the gentleman Jack. That's the big guy KG. Sometimes people call me motherfucker, but when they don't call me that, they call me the Midnight Rider. So that's how we're going to start this thing off. KG, take it away.
What's happening, everybody? I'm hiding behind the scenes for a second, but I'm here. Welcome to the Sunday Rise, brought to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, and as always, sponsored, as the Midnight Rider like to say, by Not a Damn Thing.
That's right.
So, Hella Hunt didn't pay for Sundays; they only pay for during the week. But first and foremost, how's everybody feeling?
I'm good, man. I talked to the people at Not a Damn Thing, and they just happy they can be the Sunday sponsorship. So there you go.
Here we go.
If you have questions and no answers, then you don't know not a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Well, before we jump into this show, I'm gonna toss this over to the gentleman Jack. He has a little something to say, so Jack, take it away. Take your time.
Yesterday about 5:30, found out down in my man John Bass. Such a great smile, infectious. John Noel. He loved music. Him and his band. Well, first of all, it started back in the day. Me and my cousin Tim, we was down with Def Chronics, right? We was doing rap music with Def Chronics. And then that fizzled out. And Timmy got down with John. And John's name was Jamondra Face. Timmy's name was Big Dirty. So their band's name was Face Down and Dirty. And then that fizzled out, just like, groups do. But then John just wanted to keep working on music, man. I've been in the studio with him. He did it, man. 301 did it. So, John, just rest peace knowing you did it in music, man. And your band's going to live on in your legacy. So, it hurt, John. But you know what? His band's name was 301, Area 301. He from Bowie. He died at 3:01 p.m. yesterday, man. He did some shit. So I'm going to straighten up. And just God bless John and everybody else that feels like I do. I'm going to miss you, man.
Yeah, so these are times that I think when Maddie ends his show, he says, you got to hug your loved ones because you never know what days of promise or what we have left on the other side of it. So the way we want to kind of start this is kind of resonate that thought process. We want to give condolences to anybody who's suffering with the loss of a loved one, who's dealing with that pain. You're not alone. Please just talk to people. Sometimes it's just as simple as gathering people. I know last night my cousin called me and we were up at my Aunt Alice's house. And it was about 5 or 6 of us just outside talking, and just everybody being able to tell like the stories or what they dealt with in the last few days of their parents and stuff. You just you realize that even though you feel like you're alone, you're not alone when you're dealing with either a parent that's sick or a friend that's sick. Somebody else is going through that as well as you are. So don't ever feel alone and don't ever feel like you can't reach out. This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Sunday Rise. And we're going to try to pick it up and now entertain you for the rest of the evening. Big guy, take it away.
Well, I'm going to piggyback on what you said because I believe, excuse me, it's absolutely correct. Don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you can't talk to somebody, you can't go to somebody, because there's always somebody to talk to. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't let nobody tell you that you should be over something, because grief has no timetable. And I speak from experience when I say that grief has no timetable.
That is one of your KG-isms for sure.
So somehow, some way, I done got into the big box here. But let me get myself out of the
wrong thing.
Yeah. So let me get myself out of the big box here.
I don't see it on my side. The screens.
Whoa.
I got
Dynamic duo.
This is the old school joint.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This
my whole
dynamic
layout
duo.
changed. There we go.
All right. I got my side.
All right. A couple of comments real quick, because we just went through. First, it was Maddie losing his close friend. Midnight Rider loses his aunt. Jack loses a close friend. Like, this is it's one of them things even if we can't be together, Jack. I mean, I tell you this, man. Biggest bro hug I can give you. That's for you.
I just keep thinking, man. I want to go to the studio with him, man, because that's where he was happy. Not that he wasn't happy everywhere, but God, we had so much fun cutting up and joning and stuff at the studio, drinking. Oh, he liked that Jamaican rum, boy. That's what he said. Jamaican drink in one hand. You know what else was in the other, boy? On your face, live on forever. Yeah, I can't wait to see the band in their next show. They were supposed to play this weekend over at Sandy Point, but they pulled out Monday. So I know the band's gonna stay going. Area 301. You ever see them on the board, man? Go check them out. They changed. They created their own genre of music. It's called hip hop fusion, and it's like rap, reggae, little go-go. It's tight music, man. So if y'all ever get a chance, you can go online and listen to their album, see their videos. Area 301. So,
all right. Coach Jackson checked in. Man. He says, start your week off right with the Sunday Rise.
Yes, sir.
Miss V. Williams, thank you. Matty Ice says, sorry for your loss, JC.
Thank you.
And Matty always says, hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. This is why I love our shows. Yes, we talk sports. We keep shit real when we lose someone. Love you all. We love you too, Maddie. And V. Williams, love always. Love you too, Miss V.
Thanks, Miss V. Yeah, no, it's like I seen him like about 5 months ago. He came over here to Eastern Shore. He's got a couple chumpies over here. He comes and sees. He was ladies, man. He never really settled down. Had a couple daughters, and God damn, when I seen him 5 months ago, didn't think that was the last time I was going to see him, but yet, there was other ways I could have seen him since then. But I don't hold none of that to heart. I'm glad I seen him 5 months ago. But when you boys, you always there. When you if you ain't seen each other in 5 years, you pick it up right like you left off. If you boys, that's the way I feel it with all my cats. And I feel all my boys think I'm the mushy one. But when it comes to times like this, you see what I'm talking about. We need to get together, because I'm always the one trying to get the fellas together.
I would have never guessed that, Jack. Never would have guessed that.
So let's rock on, man.
We're going to have a field trip.
I tell you, boy, I tell the fellas the same thing. Field trip for your ass. You're coming up to Maryland. Because we're scattered now, man. We're probably in 6 states. I think there's only 3 of us local.
What's up, man?
And the 3 of us don't even see each other enough. So maybe there's some, I'm definitely going to see a lot of cats because, like I say, black folks, boy, they know how to do a sending home. So I'm sure John's going to have a nice one. So look forward to that, just to celebrate him. And here's some new memories, man. You know what I'm saying? I know he affected people's lives just like he did mine. See, he's infectious. He's an infectious dude. His smile, his laugh, his lean in the Lincoln. My boy always had a big ass Lincoln. His dad was a lawyer. They lived in Woodmore, up in one of them little mega mansions. His pop passed, 7 years ago, maybe 8, maybe a little bit more than that. But yeah, his dad preceded him. So yeah, let's get off this. Come on. All right, talk some.
We was letting you talk, letting you get it out your system, bro.
Thank you. No, thank you, because I talked with my wife about it last night when I was notified, and I just chilled to myself. And then this morning, getting up and seeing all the Facebook notices everybody was putting out there, just got me. I told my wife last night I wanted a breakfast sandwich when I get up, but I told her, yeah, scratch the breakfast sandwich. I just need a hug. So I got that, and then I got you guys, and then you guys let me get it off my chest, so I kind of feel a little better. It's not held inside. So thanks, fellas. Thanks, everybody, for letting me know.
Maddie said, if you need a laugh, go to my Facebook page. I saw Weird Al
I saw.
It was awesome. I saw that.
I saw that too.
All right, now we got to talk about our bad sports part because, sports is what we use to get away. So we got to talk about this. Washington drops game 2 to the Green Bay Packers. Haven't won in Green Bay in 40 years. Last time they won in Green Bay was 86 with Jay Schrader. 27-18, Jayden Daniels 24-42, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is his most inaccurate game of his career. This is probably his worst game of his career. Austin Eckler, 8 carries, 17 yards, ruptured his Achilles, done for the season. Jayden Daniels 7 for 17. Bill had 4 for 17. Everybody had 17 yards. Each player had 17 yards rushing. Zach Ertz, 6 catches, 64 yards and a touchdown. Terry had 5 for 48. Debo had 7 for 44. For the Packers, Jordan love you. 19 of 31, 292, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs gashed Commanders defense, 23 for 84 and a touchdown. Tucker Kraft seemed like he was open every play. 6 catches, 124 and a touchdown. Throw it over to you, Jack, man. What did you think about this game?
Well, Washington, they couldn't get space on their receptions. You know what I'm saying? Every catch was stopped right there almost. There was no rack, run after catch, or yak, yards after catch for Washington. That much I felt. A key thing saying is Debo, 7 receptions, 43 yards. That's shit. What? 4 yards a catch? Maybe 6. So I just felt
gonna do math. I swear.
Man, I'm in the ballpark, Fulio. It's just they couldn't get space on the reception, so when they caught the ball, they was tackled. No, nothing breakaway. Love did what he needed to do. Love had a solid game. Damn, it broke 300 yards on us, and he protected the ball. To be able to get your tight end 124 yards, Jesus Christ. What were the linebackers doing? What was Washington's linebackers doing that Tucker Kraft gets 6 receptions for 124? And his longest was a 57-yarder. So I give Washington's linebackers a failing grade in this game the way Green Bay's tight end chewed up yardage. And Green Bay's defense, they 4 sacks. They had Daniels on the run all night. They had him. They were bothering Daniels. So let's hope Washington can recoup and learn from this and come back strong next week. That's what I saw. Midnight Rider.
This was we're going to talk about a boxing match later on, and we always talk about styles that make fights, and this was a styles makes fights moment. The Green Bay Packers defense, I think they were more athletic than we thought. Like, we thought they were good, but we didn't know that they were that fast everywhere. And I think they were able to create enough havoc on our side of the ball. And then it didn't help that the injuries are one thing, but sometimes it's who you lose and when you lose them. And you lose Eckler early in the ball, midway through the third quarter, I think it was. He's out. I don't remember when Bates goes out. But just those two players alone, that affects your run game, that affects your passing game, your short underneath stuff. And I just felt like Washington got, I'll use another boxing analogy. Everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And I think Washington got hit in the mouth and they didn't know what the next steps were. And I think some of that was just a byproduct of not having certain people. I thought defensively, I know Jack gave the linebackers a failing grade. I think it was more so scheme. I think Green Bay schemed up a couple things that they saw, and they just hit. You know, I think a couple times Kraft going down the middle of the field was something that he just schemed open. I'd love to see next week if NFL matchup has Green Bay for a big time game. I'd love to see like how they design the play to get the tight end open down the middle, because there's two times where the linebacker flooded to the flat. The safety, the other linebacker got pulled the other way, and it just opened up the middle of the field for Kraft. It was just a beautiful design to me. I don't know if it was just a failure on anybody's part as opposed to following the rules of your defense and just being put in a compromised position. Go ahead, Jack.
Now, the one, you're right. The one, I think it was a 57-yard pass play to Kraft. Yeah. That was a design scheme by Green Bay, and we caught Washington in I believe a backer was coming in. Yeah. So nobody caught him off the fake block, which he fake blocked and released. Yeah, that was a great scheme by Green Bay on that one. You're right.
I try to be, Jack. I'm telling you, it's part of my gift, man. I ask great questions, and I'm right about a lot of things most of the time.
I just don't want to down the linebackers as hard as I did and not give that little bit of credit, because that play right there was great scheme by Green Bay. The fake Kraft gave on the block. It fooled the hell out of the backer, but I think the backer was on a different assignment, and that's what left all that. I mean, it was like a wheel route, kind of, for a running back damn near. It was beautiful.
And then I think the other thing that hurts is you lose a guy that you spent some money on, Deatrich Wise, for the whole season to a torn quad. I feel bad for him because when you tear your quad, that's hard to come back from. That's one of them injuries that it's like the old days when, what was that knee injury that everybody used to get where they had to like graft your knee? You got your mute button.
Meniscus?
Nah, it's not meniscus. Microfracture.
Like
that where they kind of end your career. So I'm curious for that. I feel bad for the guy. I know they have some people in place to kind of take his place, but I think that's kind of one of those things where they just, again, you know, not having the chances to fix it on the run. And I think they just got hit in places where maybe the replacement, if they schemed it up better, the replacements would have played better. But I give all the credit to Green Bay in the world. I think Love has shown you the maturity of a young quarterback coming to his own, and he has an ability to affect the ball game from the passing standpoint and being able to call plays to put his team in a better position and get them running. I just think Green Bay, again, matchup-wise, just wasn't a fit for Washington. And we've seen that in the past with Dan Quinn struggling against Matt LaFleur offenses. He did it in Dallas in the playoff game that everybody likes to always bring up. So that's all I got on that. I know I went a little long-winded, but I apologize.
No,
I'll try to be quick. This game, not only did it expose some flaws we have in the O-line, it exposed some fans. Because when the team is riding high, you all in. But you stumble a little bit. I've seen people say, trade Terry, get him out of here. What is he doing? We paid him all this money. He only had 5 catches. He's not working. But Terry started off slow last year, and look how he came on. I said the same thing last year, and I'm saying this year. Leave him alone. He works himself into a ladder every season, whether he has training camp or not. Stop. Leave stuff alone. They put the team together they think best fits. Let them work. As far as the O-line goes, we this is not the end all to be all O-line because Cosme's still out. So we still got some things to go. But this game right here, I don't want to call it a wake-up call because it's only week 2. But I think this is a wake-up call. You gotta come a little bit stronger.
You gotta pack your lunch.
You gotta have that dog in you. Mm-hmm. No, let me rephrase that. No, you can't have that dog because the late great Jerry West said all these dudes talking about having that dog in them. I had that wolf in me. Wolves eat dogs. That's what we need. We need that wolf in us. Because we can't reach the heights that we reached last season playing like this. This has got to be a one-off, and we got to go from there. Couple of comments. Coach Jackson.
You got to pack your lunch every day. Pack your lunch every day.
Hard hit lunch pail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it right there, KG.
And Coach Jackson said O-line ain't helping, and that Packers D-line is legit as it can be. And to hear that Jaden Daniels had to have an MRI on his knee got me holding my breath. I know it came back negative, but it still got me holding my breath. Maddie said Green Bay is a damn good team. These Thursday night road games are tough as it is. Then add it against the Super Bowl team. The result was pretty obvious. Coach Jackson said, do you think early Thursday travel played a factor for the Commanders not being ready for this game? I do think so.
I don't.
I hate the term "not ready." Like
I hate to use that excuse for a Thursday game. Go ahead, Rob.
No, you're fine, Jack. I just think like sometimes somebody catches you and you're backtracking and you're trying to figure it out. You know, like I used to always. Before I started coaching, I always used to talk about a coach having a team prepared and these things. And then when you start coaching and you start realizing that, you know, Friday practice ended with us going over this scenario. And then when the guys get in the field, that scenario comes up and they act like they ain't never seen it. It's you can't do nothing about it. So I try to stay away from that thought process. I think really what happened was Green Bay just was more balanced than we thought. And you start trying to find yourself trying to stop the bleeding. And instead of getting the Band-Aid, they needed a tourniquet. I mean, that's the only way I can see it. They needed stitches. They didn't need a Band-Aid.
Anthony checking in. He said, I don't have faith in my Dolphins. I think by week 10 we're going to be winless because the team seems to be turning out McDaniel. They already had a team only meeting. That situation's done. If after week 1 you having a players only meeting, ain't doing nothing. J Dub checking in. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, guys, don't forget. I don't know what her schedule looks like because I know with stuff in the government going on, JoJo's gonna be in at 11:30 ish to give us a Packers view of this from the Packers fan side. I know we talked to her. I know I confirmed. But I know for her in these times of chaos, sometimes the chaos takes over, and you can't always do or be around in those situations. So I'll try to reach out to her because I want our correspondent from Green Bay to kind of kick in and give her side of this That's why I wanted this early because I figured she'd be coming in right as we're talking about this.
Well, she's our high profile Green Bay Packer fan.
Well, we got a little bit of breaking news, fellas. I don't know if you heard, but boxing champ legend Ricky Hatton has passed away. They found him dead in his house yesterday, and they treating his death as suspicious. Ricky Hatton, light welterweight, super lightweight, welterweight champion, fought Floyd Mayweather, Costa Zoo. Beat the hell out of Costa Zoo, to be honest. Got cheated boxer Floyd. Fought Manny Pacquiao. The list goes on and on. I'm not going to go into all of it, but that just came down on the X. So rest in peace to Ricky Hatton. We will talk more about that as the details come, probably on Tuesday.
Ricky Hatton. Mom, I hear the name. I know where I'm going in my mind, and I know it's the wrong spot because I'm thinking about Arturo Gotti and Mickey Ward. I know Hatton. It's just not. I gotta Google it. Cause I know who he is. I just gotta. You know how sometimes you know the name, but you gotta see the face.
Mm-hmm. Comment, and then we're gonna jump into college football real quick. Ricky the Hitman Hatton. Yeah, you absolutely right. Absolutely right. Anthony. Perry said RIP Ricky Hatton. This is I'm looking, for inactives and stuff, and this pops across. Perry, great, yeah. British boxing legend. Now we did our college football picks on Thursday. Jack, I know you wanted to start off with this one. Vanderbilt versus South Carolina. Let me give you some stats real quick. That was a upset. 31-7 Vanderbilt. The Commodores.
She made it look easy like Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But whoa. An upset predicted by who?
The gentleman Jack Carr.
Don't hurt your shoulder. Pat yourself in the back.
I'm just waving it. Give me my flowers. I had a good college weekend.
Diego Pavia, 18-25, 177, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Jamazil Lassiter had 1 carry for 44 yards and a touchdown. Cedric Alexander, 13 for 41 and a touchdown. Receiving, Eli Stowers, 3 for 45. Trey Richardson, 4 for 34. South Carolina didn't mount much. But for South Carolina, Luke Doty, 18-27, 148, and an interception. Rasul Faison had 15 carries for 74 yards and scored the lone touchdown. And Nick Harbor, 4 catches for 66. Jack, it's your game. Take it away.
Well, Vanderbilt is one of the 3 teams that I'm working with so far this season that I think is going to make good climbs. Everybody knows one of them was Illinois, and I still like that Indiana team over there with Coach Siggs. So Vanderbilt, Pavia didn't do much to wow the sports page, but he did what he needed to do. But his defense created so many turnovers, man. South Carolina probably played the worst game they played in years. 4 turnovers and 10 penalties, 8 to 10 penalties. You're not going to win a game against nobody. But this Commodores defense is swarming, man. Their front four is, whew. You're going to see some Commodores on our draft board next year, Midnight Rider. You watch that. So I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I thought Vandy would beat them by 10, 7, something like that. But like I say, when you got 4 turnovers, you're not going to beat nobody with 10 penalties too. You're just shooting yourself in the foot, right, Midnight Rider?
There you go.
Man.
It's funny you brought this game up. I knew you wanted it because you wanted to take your lap, and I was giving you a hard time on purpose about us putting it in the rundown. But no, I think once, because I heard Sellers got hurt early in this ball game, and once Sellers went out, the Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback for South Carolina, once he went out of the ball game, Lenore's, yeah. Once he went out, or once I heard he was out, I felt like South Carolina didn't have a chance to win this ball game, and it kind of came to fruition. There was a good game last night that we're going to talk about later on, and I'm gonna have a thought process that everybody isn't going to understand, but trust me, I feel better about certain things, and Jack may know what I'm talking about, but we'll get to that later on. KG, I think we're done with Vandy because I don't have anything else on that. I thought it was. I saw the score. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to see any of the highlights or anything. So this is all Jack's baby.
If Sellers would have stayed in Midnight Rider, I still think Vandy would have won. It just would have been closer, like I expected.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I don't know. I didn't even look to see how many interceptions Sellers threw of those 4, but Carolina just wasn't gelling. That Vanderbilt defense, I think, is for real, and you're going to see some defensive linemen and linebackers coming into the draft in the next couple of years out of Vandy. So, like I said, it's strange to hear people say, Vandy's coming to town in the fall. That usually don't happen till spring for baseball when everybody's scared of Vanderbilt. But I'm sure South Carolina will come back at them on the baseball dime and try to get revenge on this one because they got a good baseball program too. So, yeah, next one. I'll keep talking.
And Perry said, Hatton and Ma.
I know I do. I just, like I said, when I see him, it's going to be okay. I get it now.
Coach Jackson said Ohio State is a real as they can be in the Big Ten schedule. Should be sweet till they play Penn State.
Well, I hear that every year.
Mm-hmm. And Vandy just beat the snot out of them. SC is a bit overrated. Didn't look good against Virginia Tech either, is what Maddie said.
They did.
Yeah, Coach. They lost Sellers. And here's the thing: Sellers went out with a head injury. He was 6 or 7 for 94 yards and an interception. And it looked like
he might be out next week.
Yeah, depending on how bad this head injury is. So we got that. Anthony said, Jack, Midnight Rider, KG, let's not act like Vanderbilt hasn't done this before. They did it twice to Alabama in the last 2 years.
That's what they've been building at Vandy. These past 3 seasons, they've been building this. Go ahead, Mid.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why Jack pulled this on the slate, because Jack called this early on. So Jack was on this already. And I think if you saw our college preview, I think we talked about Pavia because we have a thing here at the Sideline Junkies for experienced quarterbacks. If you got a guy that's an experienced quarterback coming back and playing for you, we automatically give you a little bump because we think those things are important. We think an experienced QB is very important.
Yeah.
And that's a prelude to some other comments we'll make later.
Next up, LSU 20, Florida 10. DJ Lagway, 33 of 49, 287, 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions. Jayden Barr, 10 carries, 46 yards. Vernell Browns, 8 catches, 62 yards. For LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, 15 to 27, 220, touchdown to interception. Caden Durham, 15 carries, 93 yards, and Aaron Anderson, 4 catches for 75 yards. Gentleman Jack, take it away.
Yeah, Durham carried that ball yesterday for LSU. Durham was a workhorse. I know it was just 15 carries, but he made something out of each carry. And out of your stats, you can't can't leave out Deshaun Spears with his 2 interceptions and 71 yards. And when he took one of them to the house, that boy was just back there hawking. But that's Langway, man. Lagway. 5 interceptions, bro. Like I said in the earlier game, you turn the ball over that much, you're not going to win. The thing is, LSU should have put 40. They should have hung 40 on this. It was pretty much a boring game, you ask me. So thank God there was a couple more games on in the same time slot to keep me right. What'd you see, Midnight Rider?
I like the first. Give all thanks to Brian Kelly's family, because that's the reason he's even there, because his family. You know what I'm saying? There's another thing. If you go, hey yo, there's a thing that the people at LSU say. It's something about Tiger. I don't know.
I've never been to an LSU game. Road at home. They say something that. No, Georgia says sick 'em.
Whoa, Jack, don't say it.
Georgia says sick 'em. But I don't know what you're talking about.
All you gotta do is Google Pat McAfee LSU, and he goes, "Hey yo," and they say, "Pluck that Tiger sick yo." Change some numbers around. Change some numbers around, and you'll get what I'm saying. But no, honestly, this is a bad loss for Napier, because Florida can't give away wins and losses, because their schedule is one of the biggest gauntlets in America. I think I saw their schedule. There was no double digit ranked opponents on their schedule. They were all single digit, and for them to have that, that's a problem. And you can't drop games like this. And I love me some Lagway, but when you throw 5 picks in a big ball game, that's a problem. That's trouble. Trouble.
He was trying to throw across the field twice. He's trying to make throws he could make in high school. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't do that shit in NCAAs. Throw from this hash to the other. Somebody gonna pick that all day. Because Youngin don't have the arm to even attempt that, in my opinion. So that's up to his coach to tell him stop that shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those games. I still think Florida's issue is running game. They haven't had a running back.
What running game?
You can tell me ETN, but if you listen to the show, you know Midnight Rider isn't a fan of anybody with the last name ETN.
That's because you're a Philistine. But go on.
They played each other the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. That jersey exchange.
That was pretty tight. You know that was tight.
I give him that. No, I'm just not a fan. It's just me.
I'm down.
I always tell y'all, we have these things as fans that sometimes we see something or we don't like something, and everybody else don't understand why. You know,
I like Travis. Travis, I think
I don't. What's his last name? What's his last name?
Travis Etienne.
I don't like him. I
saw him as a freshman, boy. He was sick at Clemson as a freshman.
Yeah. Okay. I was a big fan of his at Clemson too. Maddie says, no surprise in this one. Florida, another overrated team. Can't see Napier survive another year.
It depends on that buyout.
And Anthony said, Jack, I'm sticking to my guns. I think Billy is gone by the middle of the season, and they start looking for John Gruden by their bye week. Damn, that's gangster.
But no, I mean, hold on. He's not wrong on this. Because I think Gruden is trying to find his way back into the sport. And I think he's a great offensive mind. He would have to be a person, and this is where we get into the weeds. And there was a great statement by Cam Newton. He was like, you can't bring people into the SEC that don't know the SEC. And I think one of the things that would help Gruden is if he does become the coach at Florida, he gets him two coordinators that are in like SEC based, Because if he doesn't, then that's going to be a struggle. And Anthony, I know that's probably spell check, so don't worry about it. I know what you mean.
Yeah, he said Midnight Rider. He's not a quarterback. He's not a generation quarterback like Gator fans are making him out to be. But I mean, every time the Gators get a quarterback, and I'm not knocking Gator fans, every time they get a quarterback down there, he's a generational talent. From Shane Matthews to Danny Wolfle to Anthony Richardson, now it's Lagway. Come on now.
I'm a big Lagway guy, so I'm not shy about that. So,
but I was a big Anthony Richardson fan. Look what that got me.
I'm not.
I didn't understand.
I'm not Lagway guy. I knew you'd be a Lagway guy.
Who?
And that's going to be me and you.
Right.
Midnight Rider. I knew you'd be a Lagway guy, and that's going to be me and you's little thing we're going to go around. You might even add Carr to your list, but we'll find out in another week or two. Our top 5 quarterbacks.
Great segue.
Maddie said Gruden wants back in the NFL. Maybe Miami. Maddie?
No.
Because
hear me out. I know what you. Go ahead. I'll let you go.
No, because I think you may debunk it, or we may be on the same page. Go ahead.
No, that's why I said go first.
No, you go first.
Nah, because.
Oh no, you go first. No, I got here first.
Yo, you hang up first, KG. Come on. Go ahead.
No, okay. This is just my thought process. Just pull my coat and follow me on this one.
Chad just caught what I said.
No, you hang up first. I love you.
But Miami.
But ain't no lie. All of us did that once. All of us did that at least once.
Miami would be an ideal landing spot. I'll say that.
Sure, man.
And, for Gruden, that shit would be. I'm sorry, that would be very, very good for him because he could rebuild that team. And brother, I think he would put some dogs out. He would get the most out of Jalen Waddle. And if Tyreek Hill's gonna stay working with Gruden, they would turn into a force in the AFC East. Wouldn't be better than the Bills, but they'd challenge the Bills. But what you got?
So I'm glad I let you go first because that's what I didn't want to happen. Is I didn't want what I was going to say to stomp over what you want to think. I think the NFL kind of needs to have some distance from Gruden, especially with this case kind of being played out. I don't think they want him or can have him in the building while we have these emails and this case going on at this current time. I think his better road or his easiest road to being a coach is to go to college, stay there for a couple years, and then move back up. You got to do some. It's like Lane Kiffin. Like Lane Kiffin went away and then rebuilt his stock up, and then became important again.
He always does.
And I think that's what Gruden has to do.
Always does.
I think Gruden has to do some management of his persona first, because those emails don't paint a great picture, and I just don't know if an NFL team will jump in both feet first on something like this. Now we're talking about Stephen Ross, who's a very progressive owner, and he likes to shine. He's not Jerry Jones-esque, but he will take the splash. But I just don't see it right now with everything around the name Jon Gruden.
Okay. I mean, that's a compelling point, and I can't argue with that. I have no comeback.
Again, I do dope shit.
Anthony said that's what I'm saying. Jon Gruden comes, he brings Will Muschamp as his DC, and Daryl Dickey as the OC. Thoughts, KG Jack and Midnight Rider. I ain't worried about his staff. Him being in the building is, and I'm talking on the football aspect, what he says in his personal life, what he does in his personal life.
Yeah.
I'm not one to judge, because I think, hear me out, I think a lot of that stuff that came out in those emails were not just him, but they focused on him. It wasn't just him, because Bruce Allen said some things, and a couple other people that was in that chain said some things too, but they didn't get no backlash for it. But I digress. But I'm not worried about who he brings with him.
We all have emails. We all have emails where or text chains or whatever, where things get a little loosey goosey because it's your boys and y'all just messing around. So I kind of digress from some of that stuff because I think fans and certain people at times don't understand the billionaires involved in this league and some of the thought processes. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna say it that way at best because I don't want to say anything else. And to Anthony's point, he says brings Muschamp as his DC, Daryl Dickey as his OC. I don't have a discrepancy with anything that you're saying, Anthony. But you're where I'm talking about, where he has to have experience, DCs and OC, because they're going to have to help him guide his way through this college thing. And I think he's going to have to get him a GM to help him guide him through this NIL and this transfer process. And I'll leave it at that. Guys, just real quick, has anybody sent JoJo the link?
Yeah, I gave it to her a couple days ago, and I told you the other night to give it to her.
Okay, no, I'm just asking questions because she hasn't responded to me. So I'm thinking this may be a situation where she's got an issue with something that came up with work.
High security.
Right. Yeah, she's top flight of the world, Craig. Of the world, Craig.
Well, there was some big numbers put up yesterday. The boy at Texas Tech, Morton, 464 yards yesterday, fellas, 4 touchdowns. That's sick. And you got to watch out for that boy at Syracuse, Steve Angeli. He's pretty sick. He's the leading passing quarterback around. And then Missouri had Ahmad Hardy go off yesterday for 250. He might be our Genty this year. With possibility, Ahmad Hardy could be our Ashton Genty this year. There's a nice guy over in Arizona too. But Mike Carvey, what's his name? Mario Carver for Texas Tech looked amazing last night. We'll get to that in the coverage of that game.
All right, let's go rapid fire through these comments real quick so we can get to the rest of our game, so we can get to the meat and potatoes, baby.
Potatoes.
Maddie said issue with Gruden is he thinks he's a GM and he's proved in Las Vegas he is not a GM.
You know what, Maddie? I want you to respond to this because I think personally, and this is me being a homer for Mike Mayock, I think Gruden made a lot of those selections and not Mike Mayock. But Mayock held and served a good face and died on the sword for Gruden's selections. So you tell me what you think, because I don't see Mike Mayock taking Cleveland Farrell or the kid Leatherwood from Alabama and with his top picks. I don't see that because of what I know and when I studied at the feet of Mike Mayock, I don't feel like those were Mike Mayock picks. So because you're a Raiders fan, give me that info. Oh, and Maddie, next week, we play y'all. So I'm thinking about, I got an outside person that might be our Raider picker. And that because you're on your shows and doing everything. So I'll talk to you about that later on this week. But I got a young lady. I got a young lady, Miss Laura Nicole, that she's a serious fan, but I think she's on the West Coast, so I don't know if it will work for her. But we get Maddie's viewpoint all the time, so I want a different voice for the Raiders' viewpoint.
All right, let's roll through this.
No, please, because I got to answer one.
the most likely coach for Miami is Bill Belichick if he leaves North Carolina because of Bill's connection with Chris Greer's father in New England. Bill Belichick is done. He's not coming back to the NFL. I don't even think he really wants to stay in college football, to be honest. And Anthony said, KG, I think you misunderstand me. That's his staff for Florida, not in the NFL. Oh, I mean, it don't matter who Gruden got on his staff. I think Gruden's a capable head coach. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it doesn't matter who he has on his staff. I think he's just a capable head coach. Anthony also said the guy is Joey Aguilar from Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
He's growing on me.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie said Gruden 100% made those picks. And Mayock is just a class act.
Yeah, because Mayock has a thing that says he talks about oily hips. And when I look at Alex Leatherwood, I saw 10-man hips. I didn't see no oily hips. So that was one. The Farrell thing, I just didn't see him being impactful enough. And it's just like when you listen to a guy, and this was funny for me because, I listened to Mayock doing Notre Dame games. And then when I saw the picks, I was like, that don't match to who he is. And for real, that's one of my goals. And for us as the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, to get Mike Mayock on and talk ball. I'm gonna be giddy as a schoolgirl, but yeah.
And Maddie said I'll be in Europe for 3 weeks, so I'll be 7 hours ahead. Showtime, we running the show next 3 weeks.
Yep.
So.
And just keep bragging that you're going to Europe. Keep bragging about it.
Speaking of Notre Dame, this one right here, this is like a gut punch because I was like, this game, Notre Dame looked really good in this game, but 41-40. Texas A&M, the Aggies beat the Fighting Irish. Marcel Reed for the Aggies, 17-37, 360, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Le'Veon Moss, 20 carries, 81 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Mario Carver has 7 catches, 207 yards receiving, and a touchdown. For Notre Dame, CJ Carr, 20 of 32, 293, a touchdown and a pick. Jeremiah Love, 23 carries, 94 yards and a touchdown. Eli Raritan, 4 catches, 85 yards. Not enough. Jack, take this away. I will go last.
Well, that was a great game. There was 2 great games on last night. And this was definitely one of them. Stockton came out strong. And Kobe Young and Landon, I think it's Landon or London Humphreys, them 2 are a tandem of a wide receiver core that Stockton can grow into. Because I saw some bad from Stockton in this game too. But when it came crunch time, Stockton took care of business.
Hold on.
Tennessee.
Jack. You want to?
Oh, I'm reading the Georgia game. My fault. Texas A&M.
No. Do this. Stay here because I like this game. So stay with Tennessee, Georgia. KG, yeah, there we go.
Bet. But Kobe Young and London Humphreys were just a tandem of wide receivers with great hands out there for Georgia yesterday. And Aguilar played great. But you just can't miss extra points when you're playing in big-time SEC football and you can't give the team the ball back with 2+ minutes, man. These hurry-up offenses nowadays, back when I played or when we played, you ain't going to a hurry-up offense unless you was losing. Nowadays, they do that just to get tempo going, and I like it. Felt Washington didn't do it enough in the Green Bay game, but to get your tempo going, defensive lines huffing and puffing, you're running different plays, moving guys in different spots, tempo. And that's what I felt Georgia had to control this game. 4th down. What was it? I think it was 4th and 6. and my man throws a fade to the corner of the end zone. He could have put it in his pocket. He could have just leaned over, opened his pocket, and that pass would have said, "Shook him." That was a pretty pass from Stockton.
It would have said what, Jack?
It would have said, "Pick up." Right up in there. Right up in there. Pick up. So, man, y'all know I like them dogs. And it was a great game to watch. If Georgia would have lost that game, and Tennessee being loser that game, it's not a season ruining loss because the SEC gonna be tough. You got a fighting ass team like Texas A&M climbing the ranks, undefeated 3-0. They got a lot of battles in SEC, so this might be the year where you see a 3 or 4 loss team in the playoff. Now that we got 1,200 teams going to the playoffs. I love that game, y'all. How'd y'all like it?
I'm so lost at what game you were talking about.
Georgia.
You talking about Georgia? Okay, I just want to make sure. So Georgia, Tennessee, classic case of
that wasn't. Oh shit! Hey, I talked about both. I missed them both.
Right.
Tennessee ain't missed no extra point. Georgia went down and got a touchdown in overtime on Tennessee's field goal in overtime. So my bad.
That's why I said you covered some games in there, and I was, oh man.
Hey, I just gave you both games wrapped up into one. We good.
Yeah, you gave us a smorgasbord on that one.
Oh man, shit.
So Georgia, Tennessee, was probably to me the second best game on the slate. And it played like it, but Tennessee did Tennessee shit. They couldn't hit the late field goal to win the ball game. That kid missed that kick from the second it left his foot. It had no chance. I mean, it's Vince McMahon music, and he doing the strut coming down the aisle. If you're a WWE fan, you know what I mean. That kick had no shot in hell of going through the uprights. But it played to what Tennessee is in that conference because, excuse me, they were right there. They had the moment to take advantage of it, and I thought Tennessee ran one too many plays. Because if Tennessee takes the field goal before the play call, and the play call ended up being a false start, and then they moved it back 5 yards, and then they took the kick. But I thought if they had taken the kick there, they'd have been better off. And I don't know, because the way the kid kicked the field goal, it was so wide right or whatever it was, depending on your viewpoint. I don't really know my right from my left anyway. I think it didn't matter as much as I thought, but I think the kid would have been more settled taking the field goal earlier than waiting or having to wait and do it on fourth down. So Tennessee played a good ball game. Aguilar, I'm very impressed by. Stockton impresses me a lot because Stockton knows where the football has to go. Stockton knows, here's my good wide receivers, my good guys. I'm going to give them the ball and not worry about everything else. So for Tennessee, Georgia should breathe a heavy sigh of relief because they got a second life. And they got that second life because Tennessee didn't take a chance and close the door when they should have closed the door. Because Tennessee should have won this ball game easily.
Not easily, but they could have, should have.
I mean, you know what I mean. They should have hit the field goal, and the game should have been done. We shouldn't have had to go into extra time or anything else.
Well, Anthony has a question for you, Jack. Has Georgia found their replacement for Brock Bowers?
No. Sorry. No. You ain't got to answer this. I'll answer it for you. Brock Bowers is a generational talent at tight end. And there's no tight end on their roster that I've seen right now that's even close to Brock Bowers. They were running Brock Bowers on everything. Brock Bowers is like their Taysom Hill. So, no.
Brock Bowers, but there also is that Warren kid over in Indianapolis, man. He's going to be just as good. But no, they have not. Have they found their Carson Beck, the replacement for 2023 Carson Beck? Not yet, but look out next year, boy. If he can,
I like Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton's got moxie.
Yes, he does. He's got swag. He's got control, and he's got a name that he knew he was going to be a goddamn shortstop or a quarterback with a name like Gunnar, right. Shorty.
Right.
So he's going to be something next year. If he can handle the gauntlet of the SEC schedule, he might be something this year. But I promise you, if Stockton stays in Georgia, it'd be something. But with this NIL shit, who knows if we're going to see a quarterback play multiple years for a team, dog? We have to wait till the portal opens. So I'd like to see him stay there with Kirby. Kirby, man, Kirby's a quarterback guy, dude. He loves it. So that's what I think.
And Anthony said in Midnight and Jack KG, when I look at Joey Aguilar, every time I see his tape, I see a little bit of the snake, Jake Plummer or Stabler with more mobility. We'll see.
I get it. I get what he's saying because I'm thinking of the risk taker and willing to put the ball in place. Right.
Yes. That's exactly right. Little Brett Favre, too. But his wide receivers made 3 of those 4 touchdowns for him. They weren't even 50-50 balls. They was like 75-25 balls. And the 25 was for the receiver. But them receivers he has, they're so dynamic, dude. The receivers he's got in Tennessee are so dynamic that all he has to do is put it up, man. And they made 3 acrobatic catches. And no, I think Aguilar is a risk taker. And if he gets a good defensive backfield, he's going to get picked more than twice. So.
And Anthony also said, and tempo is good in college because you can get away with the other team being in the middle of substitution and having 12 men on the field. And he says, Gunnar to me is a more mobile Ryan Fitzpatrick with a bigger arm.
No. Nothing. No.
He's got a lot of comparisons.
And we'll go back to Texas A&M Notre Dame. And Maddie has some things to say about that. And I agree with what Maddie said because this is killing me right about now.
It's bye-bye. Farewell. Bye-bye. Farewell. That's what Notre Dame
long.
needs to say.
Farewell. Avita, say goodbye.
Championship. See ya.
Maddie said going to be very hard for Notre Dame to make the playoffs now. Going to have to run the table and need help because the rest of the schedule will not help Notre Dame climb back up. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't have a quarterback.
That I totally disagree with you. This is what you have when you're developing a quarterback. CJ Carr last night did not cost Notre Dame this ball game. And in actual fact, he actually put them in position several times to win this ball game. And I think there were a couple instances where poor play calling, like the 4th and 1 from the 50 with the running back taking the snap, and then he loses yards. I think that hurt them the most because they should have been driving down the field. I don't care what you're doing, but Love or I think the kid's name is Price. If I got both of them, we should be in I formation at 4th and 1. We shouldn't be in any kind of gimmick shotgun stuff because that just messed up the whole play. I think the other problem is we gotta talk about it. I feel bad for the kid that was the holder. The holder on that snap, he drops the ball, and if they get that kick up, it's 41 to 34. And when Texas A&M scores, we're going to overtime as opposed to Texas A&M winning this ball game. And then for the kid, Reed, he was a stalwart all night. The Texas A&M quarterback. That kid played with some heart and some moxie, some gusto. He made some throws. Say that again.
He was on the ground quite a bit. He left everything on the field. Let me say it like that.
Exactly. He's one of those kids that, if you're picking late and you need a quarterback, you draft him. You hope he meshes with your OC, and then that kid can be your QB in the future. And my statement for this ball game for me is I'm okay with CJ Carr. And the reason I'm okay with it is because he shows me potential. He's a redshirt freshman or maybe a sophomore. So I got 2 more years of this kid actually being able to grow as my quarterback, as opposed to what I felt the last couple years where we had these 5th-year seniors and we had Cohen and we had Leonard and we had the heartthrob, Sean Hartman.
Sam Hartman.
Whatever his name is.
Man.
I don't care. I think this
and y'all gonna have another quarterback next year.
No, this kid Carr gives us something to build off of. And I think he'll finish out these first 2 weeks were the toughest 2 weeks. And I think the rest of the schedule, he'll find his footing, because I thought he found his footing last night. And we're one bad snap or one bad hold from us being in overtime last night. And I think this kid's going to be a way for us to build this program. So I don't care. Like, for me this year, this is the year I wanted. And I'm probably one of the only Notre Dame fans that wanted this. I'd rather struggle with a young QB this year, because I know next year and the year after, we're going to see his growth. I don't mind a bumpy road. I don't mind this kid being in a cocoon fighting his way out right now. Go ahead, Jack.
I better not see him on your quarterback list. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, no, it's too early for that.
But now that boy Reed, he came out of the game a couple instances. Got banged up a little bit. He ran the ball a few times and got slammed by linebackers. But I think the backup come in, handball off, and then I don't think the backup threw 3 passes, if that. But Reed's a tough dude. And all right, I know y'all going to slam me for this a little bit, but he reminds me a little bit of like a young Jaden Daniels. He needs to beef up a little bit. Reed does. Do you see that, Midnight Rider?
It was only one game, so I don't struggle with comparisons that quick.
We'll talk later.
But yeah, you know how we do. You know, because you always throw somebody on my radar, and I watch them, and we figure it out at the end of the year. But I'll take that. I'll take that as a yeah.
Well, my radar getting full.
I'll say this. As a Notre Dame fan, and I've been one since 88, I've been through so many quarterbacks. I've been through stopgap guys that nearly took us to a championship. I've been through guys that have stayed 4 years and ain't really did nothing. You know, I got my guys that I really like. I'm not saying CJ Carr not going to get better. I'm just saying we don't have the level of quarterback play to get back to the national championship game. And this is an emotional thing for me, because you have to understand.
This year, yeah, I can see that, but
it's an emotional thing for me. You have to understand.
No, you like Arnaz Battle, so you can't like Arnaz Battle and then shoot down this kid.
But Arnaz Battle was only the quarterback for half a season until he got hurt. When he came back, he became a wide receiver.
Okay, never mind. We're not gonna have this argument in public.
No, but let me finish.
Family shit to his family.
This is emotional for me, because seeing that championship game and being on pins and needles and not being able to get the win.
Because you had a deficient quarterback. Even in the Riley Leonard stole and got them to the championship. Riley Leonard's not a championship quarterback. I'm trying. That defense that last year put them in great positions, and then we had Jeremiah Love and Jaden Price, and those kids carried us. The only problem you had, literally, The only issue last night was the fact that your young quarterback, yes, he made mistakes, but he kept you in the ball game. This is 41-40 only because of a missed extra point. This isn't like 43, you know what I'm saying? Like, the kid didn't cost you the ball game. And maybe that's where I see this. That's why I said I'm going to see this differently than everybody else. Because I see this from a standpoint of, I got 3 more years of this kid. We're not living and dying with tomorrow. This kid's going to take us to places that Notre Dame needs to get to. That's why I said before we started the show, or as we were doing at the beginning, I said, I got a Notre Dame view that ain't going to jive with everybody else. Now, maybe this is when I was hanging out with Aaron Rodgers and I had the Hayanasqua in my eyes and I was hallucinating. But I like this car kid, man. I like his makeup.
Okay.
And maybe it's just me. I mean, it could be a situation. Trust me. I've been here before where it's me, Mama CJ Carr, Daddy CJ Carr, and we just on this car island alone. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got Mary Jane and the skipper. We ain't even got Gilligan.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. I had to jump off that car train right there. That ain't my car. That ain't my business.
Well, hold on. Anthony said, I'm also a Notre Dame fan, dude. This is what happens when you're
Hold on. Time out. He can't like
Miami and Notre Dame. He likes cons and convicts. That's like liking the Cowboys and the Redskins, Anthony. I'm sorry. I'm going to bust you on this one.
He said, when your one-dimensional teams can shut you down, your running game and force your quarterback to pass because they know you're one-dimensional. He said, what scares me about CJ is because of his last name. I feel people are going to have unrealistic expectations of him. Midnight KG, because I'm a Notre Dame fan too, outside of being a Miami fan. And he said, I disagree with you, Jack. I see more Robert Griffin III over Jaden Daniels for Marcel Reed.
Only comparison I see to Robert Griffin is his stature. You know, Robert Griffin was 5'11", maybe 6 foot, $185. That's about what Reed
Robert
is.
Fuller.
I think he might be 6 foot, but I don't see the RG3 thing. But let's see how he pans out. We'll talk about it in about week 8.
He may see RG3 because he sees the number 10.
Mm-hmm.
J-Dub said, CJ Carr is very young. He would grow and mature with the team. Your day will be better next season.
Tell him, Jack Wag.
I'm telling you, man. I think Notre Dame's going to get another one through the transfer portal, man. Quarterbacks are like hot potatoes nowadays. You'd be lucky to see him back 2 years.
No, I think
if he don't win.
If Coach S. Curl wants to do this the right way, we gotta build this, and this is the whole thing. And KG will tell you, and you probably heard me say this even the last 2 years. I don't want the grad transfer no more. I want a kid that we can build with and we can grow with. I don't want the year to year. Oh, we got this 1 year wonder, and yeah, we kind of get to 8-3 or 9-2, but no, I want that. I will take every. I'm telling you right now, Jack. You don't even understand this. I will take every growing pain with CJ Carr this year, and if we are 8-4, if we are 7-5, I will sit here every week and say thank you, come back again, because I know next year we're talking about building. We're not talking about you got to build sometimes. And sometimes that takes you laying some concrete and putting some bricks down. I don't need instant coffee. You might.
Anthony said, I'm a Notre Dame fan because of my uncle. He went to the school. And J-Dub said, CJ Carr will be better next year. He's young. He's definitely will grow with the team. Hopefully he can continue to grow.
Let me come back. let me come back to Midnight Rider, man. There's two teams that was preseason ranked top 10, okay? And both of them got 2 losses right now. And you know who they both are. And I tell you, I think they're both going to have 4 or more losses. And if Notre Dame has 4 or more losses, your boy, what's his name? What's head coach's name over there?
Marcus Freeman?
Freeman. Mr. Freeman, he's going to be pressed if he has a job after a 4-loss season. But I'm
This
telling
dude
you,
just took you to the national championship game last year with Riley Leonard.
okay.
I don't know if you know who Riley Leonard is.
Get rid of Carr. If he comes back, he's going to get rid of Carr. And I think Clemson's going to get rid of Klubnik.
You're too reactionary on this one because this kid Carr is the first quarterback they tried to develop, and you mentioned somebody earlier, the kid Angeli from Syracuse, and I think Syracuse is one of them programs where they just throw the ball as much as possible and as often as possible, and they make their transfer quarterbacks look better than they are. Because Angeli
wouldn't be surprised. Go ahead.
Angeli was at Notre Dame last year, and Angeli wasn't the answer.
But Angeli, he's got a couple of years left. I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves Syracuse.
If he got years left, I'm shocked. I think he's got 1, maybe 2 left at best.
Okay.
Outside of this year, I think he's got like another 1.
Like I said, man, it's like playing hopscotch nowadays with the NIL, man. I jump here, jump there, jump here, jump there.
Hey.
I'm just not
it's like playing quarterback is like OPP. You know?
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
Some are down with it, some are not.
That's not important.
Nope. Drop them.
Where
we at? We done ran off somewhere.
Well,
I don't know.
We got to get through this. We got to get through this because it's already 12:21. So you got 39
what
minutes.
What do we got left?
NFL left.
All right, let's just say hey to Georgia Tech, the Rambling Wreck, pulling out a big win. And let's say hey to Central Florida for coming out, trying to put up a game against Miami. We'll see. I heard somebody asked a question about Miami versus Florida and LSU. I'm not sure if they're on the schedule for Miami, but I'll look or I'll trust you. I think they'll handle Florida, Miami. I think the Hurricanes will handle Florida, but get their ass whooped by Florida State. Florida State's going to be a surprise this year.
All right, let's go.
So, no commercial. We're just gonna jump right into it. You got this one right here.
Oh, we got the sound.
Huh? You got to give me a second. You got to give me a second. I was gonna talk over it.
Break this off.
We got this one right here starting off the week. You got to sit back in your seat and be ready for this right here. The old Browns.
You know what this makes me want to do, guys? It makes me want to play that electronic football, like that dude we interviewed back in the day, Midnight Rider.
You might not have been on that. That was you on the other side.
Me and Lee Ice did that with some other people. But yeah, that's what that song makes me think about, playing that electronic football with you dudes. And it's amazing that that's a league all over the country. They have electronic football leagues.
But you know what's crazy? That doesn't stick out to me because like I would always, my goal was always had, and we're gonna go down the wormhole real quick, and I'm gonna get out of it. I used to always have this thing where I had to carry 16 teams, and based on jerseys or whatever, and when we went on vacation, like my whole road trip on our vacation, I used to make an 8-game schedule for my electronic football league. And I'd play it out like on Saturdays or Friday nights or whatever when I was in the house as a kid. And then one of my buddies, this kid, Terrence Johnson, That's the guy that he did actually the 53-man roster with us. He Manimal, whatever his name was. Whatever teams I didn't want, I just give to him. So like I'd have so say I had St. Louis in the white jerseys, but I wanted St. Louis in the blue. I go to the store, get St. Louis in the blue, and then just give him like the St. Louis and the whites. Or like I got tired of watching the Commanders in the red jerseys, so I'd give him the Commanders in the whites and whatever it was. But
yeah,
that's enough of that. Let's go. Browns, Ravens. Jack, take it away.
Damn, can I bring it in first? I mean,
I'm
like,
joking.
jeez. I'm in a whole spiel. Y'all talk about electric football. Like I'm in a
work them out.
Go ahead, KG.
When I used to play that electric football, though, it was me and Richard Farley. Richard Farley lived 2 houses off of me, right? And rainy days, shit like that. It's the only time we played board games and games. It was rainy days and bad weather. You know, we wasn't inside back in the day. But every time I'm sitting there with the little clicker that you turn it on and off, you know, and I'm like, you ready? Got your defense set? All right. And then I hit the buzzer. So I always did that when I played that electric game. And that's why that reminds me of it. So let's go, KG.
Did you steal KG?
You got the old Browns versus the new Browns. The Ravens have turned back the clock and went back to 1996 settings on their team website till Monday. The stadium fonts, 1996, everything. And people are saying people in Cleveland are sick. They're saying it's disrespectful. How could you do this? What is wrong with you disrespecting us like this? But I think this is going to match up to be a good game. And the storyline has come out that said that the Ravens were going to draft Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. He said he didn't want to come because he didn't want to be behind Lamar Jackson and rarely see the field. He wanted the opportunity to compete. So, you know, the internet is buzzing and giving him a hard time about that because he wants to compete. But the Ravens are 12.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5. And if I'm not mistaken, Joe Flacco returns to the place where he won his championship. Let's go. Gentleman Jack.
Hey, KG, put me on the big screen, bro.
Putting them on the big screen. Let's put them on the big screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Peep this hat. Yes, sir. What's happening? Where they at?
Baltimore Browns.
They were selling these in Baltimore when the squad rolled out and the Browns came here. And they was, you know how the bootleg joints out there selling the fake polo and the fake Nikes and stuff in Baltimore. They had these. And I ain't had the money. I had to ask my boss, hey, man, spot me $10. I wish you would have spotted me 100. And I bought 10 of these because everybody asked me to buy one of these. I was at an Orioles game, and somebody snatched it off my head. And I'm like, whoa. I turn around. This big ass Boog Powell. I'm like, whoa, y'all need to give my hat back. He's like, I give you $50 for it. I was like, nah. So he signed it. And put it on my head like that. So that's my Baltimore Browns hat. I always wear it when these two play each other. Thank you. I can get off the big screen.
All right, what you got on this game?
I tell you, you think the Browns are going to do some surprising shit because everybody thinks Baltimore is that much better than the Browns? They're probably right. Jerome Ford didn't give him much out of the backfield. I said Cleveland just let Jenkins go ahead and do the running for him. Joe Flacco, he's going to get harassed by this Ravens defense. So I think the Ravens are going to beat him pretty bad, at least 2 touchdowns at least. So I pick Baltimore to cover and the under. I don't think Cleveland's going to score much.
Just because I don't like the city of Baltimore and anything that comes from Baltimore, I'm going to take the Ravens to win, the Browns cover, and we hit the under. Go ahead, KG.
I'm going to be quick about it. Ravens take this one, and it's not even going to be close. Ravens take this one 35-6. You will get Shedeur sighting.
Yeah, I got to stop disrespecting the Browns defense. and you can't get a
So you
Shador
got an
Sanders.
under.
Yeah, because I think the Browns defense is going to be dominant today. The Browns defense is nothing to play with. I think the Browns defense is one of the best defenses in the league. Their only problem is their offense can't get out of their way. And I would love to see Quinshon Judkins because I think he's their best running back or their best opportunity to have any kind of offensive impact on this ball game. But I'm gonna get out of here again and let y'all finish it up.
Maddie said,
"I got that Bama on your fantasy squad, do you? You got Judkins on your fantasy squad, don't you?"
Nah, Xavier had him.
Oh, Xavier got him on it.
Yeah,
I played Matty Ice today.
Maddie said kind of shitty to do this against Cleveland, but won't help them on the field. Baltimore killing them. I don't think it's kind of shitty because, to be honest, it was a rivalry born out of hate. Like that, what's that college rivalry they got called? Good old fashioned hate. That's an NFL rivalry right now between Baltimore and Cleveland. And the fans in Baltimore was like, we didn't want to do that to Cleveland because somebody did that to us, so we didn't want to do that to somebody else. But it happened. It just happened. But I love
them. Before Baltimore, the hate was Cleveland and Pittsburgh, if I recall.
Yep. Next up, this is another rivalry. Now, normally this was a Thanksgiving rivalry, but no, this is Bears versus Lions. Second week of the season. Ben Johnson returns to Detroit. Detroit 6.5 point favorites. Over under 46.5. Jack, take it away.
Ben Johnson returned to Detroit. It don't make no matter. Chicago last week, they was out there. Caleb looked a little bit better. He was getting rid of the ball a little quicker, but they started playing with cadence. And if anybody don't know what cadence is, it's when you're saying the snap count and you kind of stop it suddenly, so your line only knows to pay attention. And he was doing that, and they were jumping off sides the whole first half. So I think Brian Johnson needs to pull that, or Ben Johnson needs to pull that out of the offense. The cadence is not working, and let Caleb just be a quarterback. I didn't understand why he kept doing the cadence the whole first half. Then there was offsides after offsides after offsides. I felt bad for that one dude. But you had Detroit that kind of just got shut down the week before that. Their running backs accumulated nothing. What do they call their running back tandem? What's their nickname?
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles got shut. They got shut down last week. That was Green Bay, I think, that shut them down. So I think Detroit's going to get back on track this game, and St. Brown's going to have a big day. Sonic and Knuckles are going to open the run up, which is going to open the pass up for Goff. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Chicago. Bye-bye. Detroit's going to show attitude from last week's loss. So I expect Detroit to win big. I'll take Detroit, cover, and the over.
I think 2 years ago when Caleb was still at USC, when we talked about quarterbacks, I said I had an issue with his processing, him not throwing on schedule, and his mental approach. I got a whole bunch of crap for when he went in the stands and cried in his mom's lap and they had to put the towel over him and all that stuff. And I just think his struggle is always going to be being the right teammate in the moment. And I think that's going to hurt them now. And I think Detroit wins this ball game. I think maybe they win it with a field goal late. Because I think they know each other too well for this to be a blowout. But I'm going to go under again. I think I got two unders. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go under because I don't believe enough in the Bears' offense to make this over. Go ahead, KG.
Midnight Rider.
I like how you
picked,
put that.
Detroit.
Detroit wins. Detroit wins.
Oh,
but I
with
think
the
I think the Bears cover.
And the under.
Yeah.
I like how you
KG,
because that was against the Vikings week 1. That was one of the problems. He didn't throw on time. And he had a man wide open, didn't throw the ball on time, threw it late, and threw it behind. So I don't know if you can call this a regress for Caleb, but this ain't it.
He ain't never been there.
Yeah, this ain't it.
Never been.
Give me the Lions to cover and give me the under. Again, this is like 34-6. Next up, Seahawks versus Steelers. Steelers are 3-point favorites. Over under is 40.5. DK Metcalf, excuse me, going back to face his former team. Jack, what you got? You got to get off mute first. He just a talking. Jack just a talking.
Good. I was just a mumbling. That's what I was doing because this game here, I didn't. I thought this game was, but I get the DK going back playing Seattle, but I don't know, man. I think Sam Darnold's gonna keep taking care of it. In Jigba, he's gonna hit him and work it out, and we're gonna have a running game in Seattle that's gonna help with Walker and Zach Charbonnet.
Oh, get your little etouffee and a little Charbonnet.
So,
I'm sorry.
Rodgers, getting on. I'm cool with it. I love Charbonnet bit, but I just don't know, man. And Aaron, he gonna like that. Try to get DK some revenge on Seattle, his former team type shit. And the defense in Pittsburgh is still vicious. I'm gonna take Seattle in this one, guys. I'm gonna go Seattle in the over because I think the points can be put up if you can keep that defense of Pittsburgh, that defensive front. You can keep the defensive front of Pittsburgh at bay. You can beat the defensive secondary in Pittsburgh. So that's up to Sam Darnold. That's what I see, guys.
Wow, that's a great thought process. But again, I'm gonna try to keep this short. I think Zach Charbonnet. If you want some etouffee, you get some Zach Charbonnet. He's gonna get a majority of carries. So if you're a Kenneth Walker Jr. or third or whatever his name is, owner, you got to have some pause in this process. If you got other running backs, I would play them over him, just because the way the carries look right now, the carries look like they're going more on the Charbonnet side as opposed to the Walker side. And then the other piece of this, or the coup de grace, if you will say, I think Rodgers and the Steelers offense is meshing, but I think the Seahawks has enough defense. I think we're gonna go over, but it ain't gonna be by much. Like, we're gonna be over by like 41 points total for both teams. So give me the Steelers, the number, and the over.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks in this one.
Okay.
I think the Seahawks will catch stride. I think what you saw from the Steelers last week, that's not indicative of what they're going to be for the rest of the ceiling. I think they're going to reach their ceiling quickly, and then it's not going to be a glass ceiling, it's not going to be a plastic ceiling, it's going to be concrete with rebar and conduit and all that stuff through it, so they can't break through it. So they'll still have a winning season. They'll finish 9-8, but the Seahawks take this one Let's call it 27-24. So give me the over.
Ooh, KG living dangerously.
See, Midnight Rider KG, he followed us on the Thursday Throwdown and saw the gentleman Jack 15-1 last week. So he's just hopping on my back. I got him. I got y'all. Get your picks in, everybody. Get your picks in now. You only got a little bit of time. Get all your picks and your fantasy shit done. Let's go. Let's go.
And next up, you got a rematch of Super Bowl. Chiefs versus Eagles. Eagles 1.5 point favorites. Over under is 46.5. Jack, what you got?
Chiefs to the Eagles. Everybody would think that's going to be a good game. Like I said, preseason. Chiefs, they're going to have a down year. They're going to start 0-2 because Philly is rolling. Just like I was saying, last year and the year before and the year before. Philly's offense is so thorough. And their defense ain't no joke neither, as long as they don't spit on nobody. Jalen Carter is disruptive. He's going to be – does the pros have it where if you're kicked out of a game, you got to miss half of the next? Or is that a college thing?
He's a opening kickoff starter.
Okay.
Because he didn't miss because he didn't have any snaps happen, his suspension was considered his one game.
Makes sense. So I don't know. I just think Philly and the Philadelphia offense is going to be too much for the Chiefs. Worthy, he's still out, I believe. He got hit pretty hard by Kelsey, man. So I pick Philly. I'm gonna go over because Patrick Mahomes ain't gonna go down without a fight. But I feel Philly's gonna get him, and this is the beginning of Kansas City's down. That's all.
I think the Chiefs do start 0-2, but I think that's just their way of dealing with the process. So I have the Eagles winning outright. And I think this ball game goes definitely into the over. I see a 28-21 type of ball game. And so the Eagles win 28-21. There we go with that.
I like that. And I want to subscribe to your magazine. I agree. Eagles 28-21.
Wow.
Next up.
Nice.
Falcons versus Vikings. Penix versus McCarthy, national championship rematch. This is all about revenge this week. It's all about kissing babies and getting revenge, baby. That's what it's all about this week in the NFL. Falcons versus Vikings. Vikings 3.5 point favorites. 44.5 is the over-under. Gentleman Jack, please take it away.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I think it's going to be great. 2 second-year guys coming into their own. This is going to be fun. I really am looking forward to this game. I look to see both quarterbacks come out strong. It's just which defense is going to step up. Can Jalen Allen put some pressure on Penix for the Vikings, or is it going to be vice versa? The Falcons are going to pressure McCarthy and the Vikings. It's going to be a defense thing that decides this, I believe. And I think it's going to be Minnesota's defense that's going to decide it. So I go Minnesota straight up and the over. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Okay. Well, if you know me, we know we all about the big Penix energy. I think Penix goes for 300 today. I think Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson all have big days. I got the Falcons winning, and I have this hitting the over. I'm gonna keep it short and simple right now because I know we up against the clock.
keep it simple as well because we're missing the greatest pregame show of all time on Fox. But give me the Falcons in this one. I'm going to go with the under. It's going to be like a 23-20. So it's right there at the cusp. Maddie said, I really don't. I would really love to see the Chiefs start 0-2, but not sure the last time they lost 2 in a row. That's a good question. I don't even know that.
I want to say it was 2 years ago they lost. I mean, not 2 in a row to start a season, but I'm going to say a couple of years ago they lost 2 in a row.
All right. We got some bonus games. Got a bonus. You got Colts versus Broncos, 2 young guns that Jack wanted to talk about. His boy Danny Dimes versus Bo Nix. Broncos 2.5-point favorites, over under 43.5. Jack, take it away.
Oh Lord. Yeah, like I said, 2 young gunslingers that were very high on my list coming draft time last year. And you see Bo Nix and Sean Payton, they are a 1-2 mix. Everybody compares it to the Drew Brees, Sean Payton relationship. And it looks like twinsies to me. And Bo Nix is a scrappy son of a bitch, man. But man, I think the Colts are going to get the Broncos today, and I think the Colts could be a surprise team this year. Broncos, I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball to open up the passing game, but you never know. Nix can tuck and run with the best of them. But I'm going to take the Colts in the under. And, Colts in the under for me. Let me put it in my books. I didn't even.
Real simple. Broncos over. Every now and then the sun shines on somebody's ass and they look good. And I think last week that was the sun shining on Danny Dimes' ass. At some point he's gonna have to wake up to the reality that he's Daniel Jones. It might not be this week, but it's gonna happen soon. And this defense for the Broncos is a tough enough defense. With their front four, their linebacker crew. I know Greenlaw is out today, but still, with their squad, I think they just make everything happen.
Well, I'm going to keep it simple, too. Give me the Broncos in this. Broncos win this easily. I don't have any faith in Danny Dimes, So I'm just going to say that Broncos win it easily. And they cover, and we're going with the under. Second bonus game.
I can't wait. Can't wait for Tuesday.
Yeah. How many bonus games we got?
It's the last one. We got to do it for the boss, BJ. Even though he don't consider the Jets or the Dolphins a rival, but this is a rivalry game. Jets versus Bills, 2 AFL teams going at it. Bills 5.5-point favorites. Over under is 47.5. Jack, what you got?
I'll go first.
Please.
Because this I thought this should have been on the schedule to begin with. I thought this was already covered. But I think the Bills win this ball game. I think the Jets show that they can still put points up. So that's why I like the over.
Yeah.
And I think the Bills will cover with the 5.5. So give me Bills win, Bills cover, over. I hope I said that right for you, KG, as you write it down.
Mm-hmm. What is it? 47.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets can put points up because Justin Fields running for his life. Justin Fields running for his life, but Justin Fields ain't gonna beat you throwing the ball. I'm telling you that right now. And Buffalo gonna annihilate these cats, annihilate New York. You're gonna have a little Joey Bosa, DaQuan Jones. They're just gonna be all over you. Shaq Thompson. This Bills defense is gonna beat the hell out of the Jets. I'm sorry to say it, but Justin Fields, you keep running like you're running, and you're going to end up not being able to run, and you'd be on the IR or something. You need to throw the ball, but I just don't think you can. So I got Buffalo big, man. What's it over on the 47? I'll take Buffalo. Buffalo going to put up 30, so. Buffalo on the under.
I'm gonna take Buffalo in the over. So, and Maddie said Bills win big, and don't forget the all your lines are brought to you by FanDuel, our official, unofficial line partner for the NFL season. So, let's quickly, what you eating?
So we got to flip a coin in this household because I'm either doing. I got to figure out if I have chicken broth, then I think I'm gonna do a soup. I'm gonna do a soup with chicken thighs, celery, onions, and all that. If I don't have chicken broth, then we're going to default to spaghetti because I got ground beef and I'm doing ground beef, the celery, onions, and all that stuff, and making a spaghetti out of it. So that's where we at right now.
All right, then. Well, you know, last week I had some shrimp. Did I? 2 pounds of shrimp. Steamed shrimp it was last week. Well, you know, my wife's been traveling a bit for work, and she's been traveling a bit to help her mother. Her father's have some health issues, so, you know, we got to be a split household for a little while, but, we talk every day, and she's down there helping her family. And, of course, y'all know Bugsy's in school, so JC Home Alone again. Let me do it again. JC Home Alone face. So I'm going to do some shrimp again. Now I'm going to go ahead and put them on the grill. Little plum sauce. Ooh, cookie. That Hawaiian plum sauce. Ooh. It's made by Lowry's, I think. You know, the joint that make like, Mike Lowry. My name Mike Lowry. But it make it by Lowry's, them cats that make the marinades and the salad dressings. It's called Hawaiian plum sauce or some shit. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna grill some shrimp and some rice and some broccoli. Because when I make broccoli, Joe, I just make a big ass bowl. I eat a little bit with dinner. That's my snack. I've been doing good. I go to the doctor's Monday. I'm curious to see, because I don't jump on the scale every day, all day. I try to wait till my doctor's appointments because it'll drive you crazy if you're dieting and you check that scale every day, dude. I'm sorry. That's not the way I do it. Not that I dieted a lot in my life, but the few times I have, I met my goal the few times I've tried it. So shooting for 40 pounds. I was down 18 last time I went to the doctors. So let's see what's up, people. And that's something else you got to do. You got to take care of your health. You got to get screened, man. You got to get screened. And it's like, you know, God knows another one of my buddies came down with lupus. I mean, he can live with that, but he's going to have a struggle, you know, going to dialysis 3 times a week and shit. But damn, go get screened, man, so stuff like this don't happen. Or when it comes time to go to the hospital, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? If you constantly get screened, you got a better chance of beating this nasty ass cancer. Where I hate cancer. I hate it.
All right, guys, we gotta come down. We're coming down to the stretch. You got 7 minutes before kickoff.
Okay,
I'm good. I'm done.
Well, I'll just go ahead and wrap that shit up.
Sorry, man.
No, do what you eating,
fool. What you eating, fool?
Let's get out of here because we already over time. So,
dude, tell us what you eating. God dang it.
Food.
Bread. Eating bread. Eating bread.
Come on, man.
I'm good
Stop
now, man.
Let's go. You ain't gonna take 5 minutes.
We're having baked chicken, string beans, fresh string beans, mashed potatoes, and I believe we're gonna have a triple chocolate fudge cake for dessert.
Tell the missus I might need to have her make some potatoes for me. Just because I'm not a big I'm not a mashed potato person, but I like mashed potatoes. I just don't cook them well.
Look at Matty. Rubbing them my face again. I'm telling
He
you.
said I'll be eating something from the New York.
Wait till I go back to
airport waiting
Europe.
for a
Fool.
flight
I'm
to
gonna
Paris.
get you, Maddie.
And he said I'll try to chime in.
Well, in Paris,
when I came,
you eat
when I
some
came from
breakfast at
abroad. Love you
airports.
when
They
you
got them. What are them little things they call? They make real thin pancakes. Crepes. You get some crepes in Paris and some other. I think it's called scones and shit. Oh, yeah. And then on the joints to Europe, they just give you some cheese and some meat, and that's called a sandwich with a hunk of bread. So you eat some meat and you eat a piece of bread. They eat weird over there. So what you eating, Maddie? Keep us posted.
Maddie said I will try to chime in from abroad. Love all you guys. Love you too, Maddie. Be safe over there, man. Have a safe trip over and a safe trip back and a safe trip while you there. And he said should have an active throat punch counter today from the airports.
Here we go. Over under 7.
I can't say it.
So all right, let's wrap that thing up.
5 minutes.
Final
5
thoughts.
minutes.
Last night, Bud Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez in the middleweight fight. One of the best things I heard this week alone was Roy Jones Jr. talking about the fact that since Bud walks around at a certain weight, he probably walks around at about 175. Him making weight and him having to get down for this fight.
140? What is that? 143?
They were either at 168 or 175 for this fight.
Is that much? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if he walks around at 175, he got the joys of just being able to have fun and eat and just be his normal self. And I think sometimes, because Ward, that's his name. Ward was another guy that brought that up and talked about the luxury of being able to play at your natural weight is way different than having to cut weight and make it work.
Yeah. I'm a big Canelo and Bud fan, man. This fight's several years too late, in my opinion. This fight should have already happened a couple times. This should be plot 2 or something. But we should have brought in our boxing expert, Miss Lovey Giddens. Should have brought Miss Lisa in there. Isn't that KG's wife's name, Lisa?
Yes, sir.
Should have brought her in because I know she loves some Bud. But I'm going to tell y'all straight up, I missed that fight last night. I knew it was on. I got into a movie. The next thing you know, it was 1:30 or 2 o'clock. I'm like, damn, I missed that fight. So I've always been a Canelo fan. So anyway,
maybe we can
do the boxing. Possible. So thank you everyone for listening to me sobbing for a bit today. Like Maddie says, like we say, man, if you feel like it, man, just call someone and tell them you love them, man, because you might not have said it last time you saw them, and you can catch up and stuff. I used to have a thing I did every Sunday. I sit on the back patio, watching football, whatever. Between the 4 o'clock game and the night game, there'd be like an hour and a half for the Sunday night football pregame, and I would get on my phone book and I would just spin contacts and put my finger on one and call that person that Sunday. And I need to start doing that again. So thanks, guys, for being there for me. It really helped.
No problem, Jack. Now, I'll say this for my wrap it up because we didn't do the WrestleMania to off last night. I just want to say that WWE and even that fight last night, everybody's selling their soul to Saudi Arabia for the highest bidder. And they talking about we're getting ready to have WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia. They're talking about soon we're going to have a Super Bowl overseas. I understand that you want these things to be global. You want to put an NFL team in a foreign market. That's not going to work. Just like NFL Europe didn't work, having an NFL team and a regular NFL in Europe is not going to work. You want to do shows all over the Europe as far as WWE, great, do your thing. What you can't do is you can't take your biggest spectacles and move them outside the country, because those are the highest bidders. If you're doing it for money, you're going to turn off a lot of fans. That's like saying we're going to take the college national championship and all the playoffs and play them in Dublin, Ireland. We got to stop this. This has got to stop. I get it that it's money, but money shouldn't rule you that much. But you kill off your fans like that. You don't understand how many fans are upset that WrestleMania. We're already priced out of it as Joe and Mo fans. We can't afford it. But even you're taking that and putting it overseas, and then the ticket price, the viewing price is going to go up as well. Can't do that. That's my wrap this shit up, because I had beef. We got to go. But that's me. That's how I feel. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. That's the Gentleman Jack. That's the Midnight Ride. I'm the big guy, KG. We'll see y'all on Tuesday to wrap this thing up and see who's the winner. See Jack still 15-1. But until next time, we are out of here.